Aloha and welcome to the video. So this week I'm going to be making 3 separate pieces, but they're all the same style. So the style of piece I'm going to be making is a kuekue lima leo mano, which is like a Hawaiian knuckle duster. I haven't made one of these in a while, and as I started to template out these 3 different pieces, I noticed that there's no way I was going to be making a nice circle. The outer edge of it is more of a circular style, so a little bit different than your standard knuckle duster shape, but not by much. So I ended up finding that paint can, which works perfect for what I was trying to do, or at least the size and shape that I was going for. And so the differences between each of these is very small. The larger piece is going to have a pahoa, a dagger, on one end, and then I'm going to be jointing 2 different pieces of coal wood together for the dagger. The other 2 pieces are going to be relatively the same, just a little bit different design on the line work, and then the teeth are going to be oriented slightly different. And so the larger piece here is going to have bull shark teeth, and the smaller 2 pieces are going to have tiger shark teeth. And then for the coal wood that I grabbed for this, I decided to use a completely different but very curly piece of koa for the dagger. I just thought it'd be kind of nice, it would look good with a contrast. I will end up probably pegging the joint and then doing a lash. It just ensures that it's a very strong connection. So the first step here is just getting the rough design and layout. Because I don't have a scroll saw, cutting the inside out is a little bit of a pain. The process that I started doing a long time ago when I make these is I'll drill out as much as I can in the center, and then I'll use a chisel to kind of rough out a little bit more, and then lastly I'll end with like a rasp. And so that's what I'm going to be doing for these, is getting them into rough shape, is drilling it out and then rasping it, and then from there I can start to sand. Now that I have the interior mostly shaped out, I can start shaping the exterior. Well, I still have some shaping on the interior, but it's grooved out, so the general shape of it is looking good. I'm going to be doing a couple different design patterns for these 3 knuckle dusters, but they're very similar. It's going to be kind of difficult to tell the difference unless you're looking close. The main difference is this piece here that has the pahoa, or the dagger. But the rest of them are going to be mostly the same. And then once I get them shaped into place, I can start sanding. Sanding on this piece took absolutely forever. I say this piece, I mean all 3. It took forever because I had to do the same steps for all 3 of them. And sanding inside of the groove just took so long. But I worked from 120 grit, so a rougher grit, up to 220. And then I finished at 320. Before I did the 320 though, I cut in the groove where the shark teeth would go. Then I finished up to 320, then put in the shark teeth, and then did some final sanding on that. And so just getting it all ready and in place just took so long. Lots of hand sanding, lots of sanding with the disc sander, just a lot of very monotonous sanding work. I'm using a tungsten carbide bit to cut in the grooves. I use the same bit for all my pieces, but this bit had started to lose some of its bite, which is why it's burning the wood so much. The bit that I use is the 9931. I thought I'd go ahead and show that. I don't know if I'd shown that before. Surprise! But the newer bit just cut a lot cleaner. One of the challenges with these is there's a lot of edge wood along the ridge, so it was difficult to cut it in without it slipping. So I just have to take my time, be a little bit careful, and make sure that I get a nice clean straight groove. And then of course, once I get that done, I can sand down to 320 grit. Now, if you've seen my videos before, you have seen me do this a lot of times, but usually how I like to drill the holes in the coil wood is I'll mark them first with a pencil, and then I'll use a nail to get like a starter pilot hole, and then I'll drill them with the bit. And I do that to help prevent the bit from walking, because the wood is angled at that point in time, and so that little pilot hole helps prevent the bit from sliding down the wood, or walking is what that's called, as I drill in. So it just makes it a lot easier to get a nice straight clean drill without scratching it up or messing up any of the sanding finish that I have. Once I have it completely drilled out, I go back with the 320 grit sandpaper and clean up any of the excess pieces that are sticking out. Just make sure everything is nice and smooth, get rid of any scratches, and then I use a little wire wheel to clean out all of the excess glue. Now I have it completely prepped, I can go ahead and oil the pieces. Now I was super excited to oil these three. The koa, especially on the handles, had a really deep curl. It almost looked like flame or a fiery, almost, or maybe even a tiger stripe. It's kind of difficult to explain, but you'll see here in just a second. You can see on that handle the beginnings of that. It's absolutely gorgeous, and so I was very pleased with the way that it was looking and was excited to get the entire piece oiled up. Once I finish oiling, the next step, or rather last step, is going to be lashing all of the pieces, and then they will be a final coat and completed. here are the finished pieces. Man, these turned out awesome. I love that dark curly flame koa. Looks super awesome. And then I have the teeth orientation. So on that first piece, all the teeth go in one direction. On the second piece, they kind of split halfway through. The direction of the teeth actually makes a difference when it goes to slicing and strikes, which I've tested in some of my older videos if you want to see those. But the different orientation there I thought would also kind of add to the different characteristics. And then obviously on this piece it has the dagger and it's using the bull shark teeth. Well, I hope you liked the video. Unfortunately, I didn't have any testing with these pieces. I didn't have enough time. I had to get them packaged up and shipped out. But I had a lot of fun working on them. They're a fun little batch. Let me know in the comments below if you liked them, if you didn't like them, what you'd like to see me make next. Mahalo Nui for everyone that follows along, and I will see you in the next one. Aloha.